pass rushing relentlessly, but we got pushed around in the run game, and then our offensive line for the first time really didn't handle the rush very well. It wasn't a good matchup for us. Obviously didn't play well in the first half. We did play harder in the second half and scored in the fourth quarter. And I was encouraged by that effort by our kids. We got 4 games down. Our preseason is behind us now, and now we're excited to start conference play. I think as a coaching staff, we know a lot more about our football team. We know the strengths and weaknesses of our players. We had a lot of new kids starting this season, and I think we know those guys better. And I think we can make some adjustments as a staff to really help our kids and put them in better position to make plays. We're going to start Ty Ganji this week at quarterback. Going into training camp, we really did feel like we had really multiple quarterbacks that were very close in ability and their performance level. I mentioned it earlier. We had a different group of kids when we came into training camp, and there was a much different competition when we started fall camp than we had in the spring. We had several guys that were very close, very even, that impressed when they got their opportunities. We started the season with Ty. We wanted to take a look at KC. I really felt, and I sat Casey down this week, I told him, I said, I'm really not disappointed in the way you've played. And I wasn't disappointed in Casey on Saturday. The first play's in the game, we miss a block, he gets sacked in the pocket, and then the third play he gets sacked again and from a missed block. So, our guys really haven't really supported him very well with their play. But we just feel like Ty's doing all the things he's supposed to do as far as leadership and as far as preparing for games. And I think we can do some things with Ty as we move forward. So we're excited about conference play. We're looking forward to playing Fresno. We know it's a quality opponent. As we look at the Mountain West Conference, both divisions, the class right now looks to be San Diego State. They're undefeated, and they played really well in the non-conference. But really every other team has had their issues in non-conference. And, we just have to get to playing good every week, being competitive, and doing the things that we need to do. And we're back on the practice field and working to prepare to play well Saturday night.
Coach, Caleb Foxman tweeted out that he had surgery and he's done for the year. Is the plan to try and get a medical redshirt for the season?
Yeah, he should be. He's got a redshirt year. And he only played in the first game, and we should be able to get that. We had 3 starters out for the game on offense, and we certainly miss Caleb. He's a veteran player. He was an older kid that I thought would really be a great shot in the arm for us and give us experience. Obviously Wyatt's doing a good job as a receiver experience-wise, and Mannix is doing a good job as a young player. Those are the 2 guys that are really making plays, but we really missed Jackson Kincaid and Brendan Leary Orange in this game. We had three starters out, and and some of our younger kids played like young kids on Saturday, and that was a little bit disappointing. But yeah, we should get his redshirt year back, and that's a positive thing.
Fresno hasn't decided on who their quarterback's going to be. Does that make it tough when you're preparing to face them, not knowing who's going to be? Or do they play similar enough that play them for the same?
Well, both of those kids have played. We've seen them on film, so it shouldn't affect our preparation at all. And they're not going to change their offense much with those 2 kids, either one of them in the game. So that really won't affect our preparation much.
Coach, obviously 0-4 starters and what you want, but from your years of experience, where do you draw to get this team on track?
No, we knew it was going to be a tough preseason, regardless of what we ended up record-wise. And the biggest thing I wanted to do was go into the conference play really understanding the strengths and weaknesses of our team. And I think we know a lot more about our team. Talked to Leach after the game, and one of the things he said is, their first year at Washington State, they went through a lot of the same issues that we're going through. So, we're working through a lot of young personnel. We've had some injuries to key guys offensively. And we've just got to work through it. We've got to find a way to get first downs and score touchdowns. And one of the things I think, that we've looked at statistically, defensively, we've played two of the best offensive teams in the country in Washington State and Toledo. And when you look at the rest of our schedule, there's a lot of good teams on there, but there just isn't any teams that have been that productive. So, we just need to continue to work, to be better run defense, to be better pass defense, and to improve our run game offensively. I think we'll make some adjustments to do that, and then continue to be more productive in our passing game. And we should see our point production rise offensively as we move on, and we should see our defensive production shrink. And that's our goal as we move through the conference.
As far as Ty goes, were you pleased with his attitude the 2 games he didn't play and was just active on the sideline?
Yeah, Ty's been good all the way along. I've had several great conversations with Ty, and when you're a quarterback, I mean, it's tough. You get probably too much blame when you shouldn't, and you get too much credit when you shouldn't. But you have to be able to handle adversity, and Ty certainly has done that. He's been a good teammate all the way through. When he's been a starter or when he's been asked to sit down and we wanted to play somebody else, and he's been a good teammate, and I think that's really important. That is such an important position, and attitude and character show up. If you don't have it, it shows up, and your preparation also shows up. And so we take all that into account when we look at our kids and who we feel like should be playing. And I'm glad we got a chance to see those other quarterbacks play, because as we move along in the season, they may have to. Ty may get hurt, and at least Casey has played, and David got a chance to play, so they should learn from those experiences.
Austin's injury, did he do something since the original injury?
It was the type of injury where we were hoping it would come back, and as he started to rehab, he had a little bit of a setback. And when the knee gets dislocated like that, it stretches the ligaments, and sometimes they become loose and not as strong. And he just didn't bounce back the way that we anticipated, and he had a little setback in his rehab when he was trying to rehab and get himself on the field. And it's just unfortunate. He's such a great kid, and he brought so much experience to this offense. He was the one player that's played in an air raid and understood all the concepts. So he was kind of like a coach on the field when he was out there, and so we really do miss him. And we're fortunate that we have McLean, and McLean has played pretty well so far, and so he's going to get more of an opportunity now.
Is the surgery to like an ACL, an MCL, or a PCL? Or?
Yeah, it's I'm not going to be absolutely accurate, but it's ligament damage in the knee. Yeah.
Who do you turn to next to, fill out that void and be the second guy in the slot?
Well, it'll be McLean, and then obviously and Sellis, and then we moved Burdell Robbins over from defense, and he worked with us last week, and he actually played in the game. And so Burdell also play in the slot, and we're looking at Austin Arnold. He's another guy that we recruited that has played slot receiver and was a good receiver in high school. And he's been playing defense, but we're going to take a look at him on offense as well.
You had said yesterday that Cliff Porter played probably the best that you guys have seen him against Washington State. What did you like specifically about how he fit in?
Just really played confidently and aggressively and physical. As an offensive lineman, I think he was downfield blocking guys at the end of plays, and just played with a certainty and a confidence that I really haven't seen from him. And he may be our most athletic and physically gifted lineman. So that was really a pleasure to see, and we hope we see more of that confidence out of him, because we really we need more depth and competition at the offensive line. And Anthony's played pretty well. He didn't play quite as well Saturday. And that was a good front that we played against. Washington State has a really athletic defensive front. They move and shift a lot, and our guys struggle with that a little bit.
That's obviously a position where the guys kind of, they gel and they work together. Do you mind rotating them through a game, or would you like 5 for the entire game?
No. At times we do need to sub our offensive line, so I don't mind shifting a guard or tackle and rotating them in at all. And we do that in practice as well. So they get used to playing with each other and communicating together. And Sean got dinged in the game too. He hurt his ankle, and hopefully he'll be all right by Saturday.
When you look at Fresno, it's kind of hard to tell how good they are considering they played Alabama and Washington. What about them jumps out to you?
Well, they're a physical defensive team. They play a four-man front. They're really active, and they'll challenge you in their pass coverage as well. And so it'll be a challenging game for us. We're going to have to attack them, and we're going to have to be good with the football, handling the ball. We got to continue to whittle down on our turnovers. That's been an issue for us, and we've got to handle the ball, especially going on the road. And then I think, we played at Northwestern, we played at Washington State, we played in tough road environments. I think this will help prepare us for playing at Fresno State, which is, I've never played there, but from everybody I talk to, it's not always an easy place to play at. So we got to be ready for that type of environment. And offensively, Coach Tedford's a really good coach. They're going to shift and move and motion and kind of try to get you out of position. So we've really got to do a good job communicating our coverages. That's been a little bit of an issue for us. I'm really disappointed at where we are pass defense-wise. I thought that was going to be an area of strength for us going in, and it's really just about discipline, getting in your drops, and running to the football. So we want to play better pass defense than we have, and we've challenged our guys to that. And this will be a great test starting off the first game in conference.
Have you crossed paths with Coach Tedford before? You played a game against him?
Yeah, we played him when he was at Cal, and I've met him before, and we've had a chance to visit, and of course at the meetings I've got a chance to visit with him. But I've had a lot of friends that have worked with him on different staffs, and just have a lot of respect for him as a coach. He's a hard-nosed coach. He's a really, really gifted offensive mind. And so, and that's what we're going to see the rest of the year. I have high regard for the coaches in this conference and the type of teams that they put on the field. And so we're going to have to, it's going to be the best prepared team every week that wins, that has the right mindset on game day. And so we're working really hard to be that team on Saturday.
Coach, I know you have a handful of players from the Central Valley. What's it kind of like for a kid who goes away for school and winds up, playing a couple road games back home?
Well, we recruit a lot of kids from California, and they're excited to go back and play there. I know Coach Viney's from Fresno, and he had the scouting report this week and did a great job. Just talking about the mentality of that program and how they take the field, and it's really important to understand that. I've had great respect for Fresno's program over the years, and when Pat Hill was there, and just the mentality and the physicalness and the toughness of the program. And so, we got to understand that it's a prideful group that we're going to play, and we got to take that mindset, and the guys that are from that area understand that.
In today's political climate, with sports becoming more of a platform, if a player were to protest, how would you respond to that?
There's a lot of that going on in the news, and it's kind of sad that it's gotten to this, to be honest with you. It really is. Sports are supposed to be an escape from a lot of that. We talked about it before the Northwestern game, because most of our games, the national anthem isn't played before our game, so we're not on the field. And our kids decided as a team that we wanted to link up and stand for the national anthem, and we did it as a team. We thought it was important to show a sign of unity as a team, and I was proud of our guys for that. But we talked about it before we went, because we just didn't want some guys doing one thing or some guys doing another thing. We certainly wanted to stand as a team and have a unified response, and I was proud of our kids for handling it that way.
What do you think is the biggest thing holding back the offense?
Just our execution. We've got a lot of moving pieces, and the passing game really it's wide receivers and quarterback discipline working together. And we take a lot of time working those types of routes. We've had some injuries to guys like O'Leary Orange and Fossum, so we've had spotty consistency as far as guys being available to play, which has hurt us. And so we just got to nail that down. We've simplified what we're doing. we've made some adjustments, and we should start to see some responses from that. I think, we went into the season with some, trying to do a full complement of what we're doing in the air raid, and I think we'll really simplify that now as we move forward and let our guys have a chance to really execute. All right. Thanks, guys.
Asauni, I know you're from Bakersfield, which isn't too far down the road from Fresno. I mean, how excited are you to kind of go back home for barring anything overseeing your last game in Fresno?
I'm really excited. Being kind of 6 hours away from home, I kind of don't get the opportunity to have too many people. I have a lot of people that come up and support me, but being so close to home is always exciting, and I don't know, I just can't wait.
How many friends and family do you have coming to the game? How many teammates are you asking for extra tickets?
Shoot, if I had to guess, I'd probably have about 100 people coming. Yeah.
It's always been one of the toughest places to play in the Southwest. Just talk about the environment, the fan base in Fresno.
Yeah, the fans there, they do a good job of embodying what the Central Valley is kind of about, and they love their football, they love sports, they love the kids there, and they have a great opportunity to build something there. But obviously we got to come in and we have to tune all that out and just play football.
Is there a mentality on the team, kind of like can't change what's happened? Conference is a whole new season. Let's just regroup and kind of just move on.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, in theory you want to do that every week, but since we actually are starting a whole new season in that sense, I think it's a great opportunity for us. I think the team has responded well to Coach Norvell's challenge, to start all the way over, and I think we'll see something different.
I know you seem pretty happy being a member of the Wolfpack. Did you grow up, rooting for Fresno State, wanting to be a part of that team?
I wouldn't say I was rooting for them. I mean, I had a lot of friends and family that went there, played there. I kept an eye out, went to a couple games, but I was just a fan of college football, and I would be happy wherever I turned out. So I'm glad I am where I am.
So as far as the Bulldogs this season, what do they do well on offense that you've seen so far?
They got a lot of athletes. They run a good scheme. I think they do a good job of trying to keep the defense on their toes. They switch up formations a lot and try to get your eyes wandering somewhere else where they can just run their bread and butter, and they do it very well.
Do they recruit you at all?
Not seriously, no.
Did that upset you at all?
A little bit. I mean, a couple of my teammates in high school, we all were planning on taking a good look up there and took a visit up there, but things turned out the way they did, and I'm happy about it.
With this kind of being the fresh start at the beginning of conference play, how important is it to go out and get a win and kind of show that the last 4 games are behind us and we're not going to continue to lose?
It's really important. I mean, especially the non-conference didn't play out the way we wanted it to, and but that's the nature of this game. So all you can do is just pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and just go out and improve. And we have to learn from the last 4 weeks. We can't just totally forget. We have to learn and improve as a team.
Is the team that wants to throw the ball more or run the ball?
Fresno.
Yeah.
I think they have good backs. They have good receivers. I think they can do either or. I think the coaches are really just happy with going with whatever is hot at the moment. I think they have a lot of options, so that's what makes them difficult to stop.
Coach just talked about how much they do shifting and things like that. Is it unusual for most teams, or is this stuff kind of similar to that?
It's not really too common. I mean, you have some programs that like to do that a lot, but we haven't seen that this year so far. It's definitely a challenge because you have to make sure you're communicating on the defensive end, and you have to know what you're doing.
Yeah, starting 0-4 is not really. No one ever wants that, right? And so we've had our talk. Everyone's just kind of walking around with a little different mentality now. It's these games. Yeah, we're 0-4, but those games don't really affect the outcome of conference. And so, I think the leadership committee's done a great job of really taking charge of that, make sure that these young guys that they understand that, and that all our goals are still in front of us. Yeah, preseason and the non-conference really just didn't go how we wanted it to, but now this is it, and this is where it's time to make our money.
What's it going to take to get you guys on track and winning games and ultimately get to that Mountain West championship?
I think it's just a day-by-day thing. Every day we have to come in and really just work, kind of like just be angry about where we are right now. And it's going to take that day-by-day mentality and not just roll into the games. You got to treat every day like it's the game, and then come game time, we've already played the game 5 times for practices. And so we have to take it every day, and so far we've done a great job between yesterday and today of having 2 really good practices, and now we just have to take it into tomorrow. You can't be looking ahead, and I think that's what we've done in the past. We're like, okay, yeah, we'll just get to Saturday, and then once Saturday's here, then we'll start to get going, and we'll get fired up for the game. But it's obviously not worked, and so now it's just day by day, just full contact, just making sure we're doing everything we can each and every day.
What's that Fresno defense like? Coach is saying they're pretty good defensively.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just watching some film before coming here, and they're a pretty good defense. They fly around, and they just really take that Fresno mentality that everyone just kind of knows them for. The hard nose, hit you whenever, however many times we want, and we're just going to do everything we can to stop you. And it shows on film. They got a great front, and they get a good movement, and they're able to stop the run pretty well. And their secondary too. They're getting a lot of pass breakups, and they're a good team. And so it's on the offense to make sure that we're exploiting every hole, no matter how small it is, to make sure we're moving the ball down the field. And so that's a challenge to the offense this week, and we just have to take that, and again, day by day, and to make sure that we're ready come Saturday.
I think you play every single one of your home games here in your hometown, but when you see guys like Asauni and Blake Wright, they go back to playing their hometown. You notice them get a little extra excited?
Yeah, it's kind of weird how it's like I'm at home and I got a home game, and I've just gotten kind of used to it when people ask me for tickets, just that I've known, and so it's not as concentrated when people ask for tickets, because it's more spread out. They have more chances to come see me. But these guys, it's their one chance. Then they get all their friends and family back home. Like Sonny said, like he has probably like 100 guys coming for him, and so they're ready. They want to play their best game that they can, and it kind of rubs off on the team. We see these guys going back home, and we know how much family and friends they have coming, and we want to do the best we can for them as well. We don't want to let them down, and in turn let those family and friends down.
What's it like playing at Fresno? It's always a tough place to win, but that fan base, it's a pretty rabid place to walk into.
Yeah, so this will be my second time at Fresno. I remember when I was redshirting, we were down there in Derek Carr's senior year, and when the guys came back from that trip, I was just kind of asking how it was, and they're like, it was a sellout, and like that was a blackout game they had, and like it was crazy. And then I went down there, and it wasn't the blackout game, but it was just crazy. Like the fans are there, so they're right on top of you on the sidelines, and they're not afraid to talk to you. They're I mean, it's what makes college football fun too. It's a great place, and you get there, and it's going to be a dogfight no matter what, and just got to make sure the guys understand that it's going to get loud on third down, and you got to get ready, hold your water, and it's time to go.
Is it hard to really figure out how good this Fresno team is, considering they just played Alabama and Washington? I mean, it's hard to really pick how good they can be when they're playing.
Yeah, what I've kind of started to realize as I've kind of matured into watching film is you want to look at the function of the play, not the result. And so every time I watch a play, I very seldom now watch where the ball ends up or if the pass is completed or not, because I'm staying locked in on the fronts. And so the more I've done that, the more I've been able to kind of see, well, it doesn't matter if the score was X and Y, but I could see that they're a good front. They got good personnel. I mean, yeah, they're playing the #1 team in the nation, but they still have good personnel. They're on scholarship for a reason, and so we can't take them lightly just because they were beaten by Alabama and Washington. I mean, we have to go in and do our thing to make sure that we get the win at the end of the day.
When did you start noticing yourself looking at plays that way?
It's been more significant this year. Freshman year especially, I'd always have to rewind multiple plays because I would just start watching the ball. That's what you do when you're a football fan. You want to watch the ball and you're like, all right, nice, this is a great carry, and they're moving the ball well, but you really don't get anything out of that. And so it's hard, but you can't look at where the ball goes, and it just seems wrong. And so now when I'm watching like NFL games, like it's hard because I don't watch the ball in the games now. So it makes like even just to relax and watch football like less enjoyable. It's just because I never know where the ball goes, and so it's just different. And so it's a maturity thing, and that's what I'm trying to help with this young offensive line we have. Like watch the function of the play and the result, and that's something that Miller said one time during the spring, and that stuck with me. Like that's a really big lesson in how to watch film.
Cliff played quite a bit last game, and then a couple years before that. Seems like he's going to get more playing time. How has he developed during his 3 years?
He's come far. It's been unbelievable on how much he's done, and we know he would get in there for practice, and we weren't really sure about how he'd do, but he got in that game and he didn't miss a beat. And he's a laid-back kid. He doesn't talk much. He's not one to express his opinion. And then all of a sudden in the game, he's screaming around like some psychopath. I'm like, all right, let's go play. And I just remember on the first play, I looked at him. I was like, just calm down. Like, don't get overexcited. You're gonna mess up that way because that happens. And he's like, I got it. And he just throws a great punch on this kid. And I was just like, let's go. And he was ready. And so. It's just, even though he's been sitting back, it seems like he hasn't been doing much. He's been taking a lot in, taking a lot of coaching. Even when the coach is, is directing the information to a specific player, he's sitting there listening. He's ready, and he's done a great job of just stepping into that role and just making sure he's taking advantage of this opportunity he has.
Had you seen him like that before?
No, I every now and then he'll just let out a scream running out on the field, and I'd never seen him just get like that intense and that focused in on a play, and it was just awesome to see, and to really just that there is a different side of him, that he's not just this laid back kid and who just listens to his music. He's ready all the time.
Coach kind of said it. He wants to simplify the offense now that he's gone from 4 games of the strengths and the weaknesses of the players in the team. Is that something you feel like your offense needs to be more productive?
Yeah, there's a lot of complicated routes in it, but at the same time, we gotta step in as young adults and really step into this. You got to be ready to play. Sometimes you just got to man up, and you got to grow up faster than you want to in the college level. And so, outside of football, you're going to classes and you're hanging out with all these kids who don't have the responsibility to run a specific route, a specific depth. Otherwise, you're going to throw an interception. And while it sounds simple, there's a lot of responsibility in that. And so we just got to make sure that no matter what the coach is saying, and you think one thing you have to do to every inch of that yard, you have to make sure you're doing that correctly. Otherwise, you're going to end up doing the wrong thing. You and the quarterback are going to be on the wrong page, or you and the rest of the offensive line are going to be on the wrong page in terms of where we're going. And so it just comes down to not generally just knowing what you're doing, but to make sure you're doing that specific job to such detail that there is no way you could be wrong.
How would you say Ty's kind of carried himself this season,
I don't even want to be in that situation. That just, you go in, you work all fall camp, you get the starting job, and then they switch things up. And that's just crushing. I can't even imagine how it felt, but looking at Ty, he didn't seem to mind. It really looked like he put the team first, and he was ready. He was, even when he was signaling at practice, like he had more energy being a signaler than 90% of the guys signaling do. it's part of human nature to be selfish and say, oh, I should be out there. And he just did a great job of just stepping back and taking charge of his role. And so that just speaks volume to who he is as a person and his great character. And now he was waiting for his chance. He was ready at every time, and now he's got his chance back. And he's done a great job these past 2 days of taking charge.
Does that make you want to get up and play for a guy even more?
Yeah, absolutely. You see a guy acting like that, there's no way you can't just give him your best, give him all your trust. And you got to know that, he was starting, he got the job taken, but he was ready, and he's came in. He hasn't missed a beat since he came back.
With, this kind of being a fresh start, new slate, all those kinds of things, how would you describe the importance of this game for the rest of the season to get that fresh slate off on the right foot?
It's huge. And what I've been trying to do with the guys is to make sure that the importance of every day this week is just bigger than anything. This week is really going to set the terms of how we practice, every single day from here on out. Because, we started great in the fall, and then, you start getting beat up, and so people start taking it off. And so we have to just get rid of that mentality that it's okay just to take it a little bit easier on practices just because it's starting to get late into the season. And so this week I'm just making sure, as long as the other leadership guys on the team, that every day has to just be a full out, put it all out there for 2 hours. And then come Friday, we can get our nice recovery in. Saturday's game time. So there's no reason not to be going full speed every single day. And so yesterday and today were great practices, full speed from everyone. And so tomorrow it's really important to make sure we're getting that same effort again. And then Thursday and Friday have to be the exact same. And then come Saturday, we've already played the game at that speed every single day, and we're not going to miss a beat come Saturday.